Good morning. Going to do the Torah reading for last week. Fell behind a little bit. It's the Torah reading for Va'it Techanan, which is from the book of Deuteronomy, the coolest book in the Bible, or also is known as, and should be known as, Devarim. The book of Devarim, chapter 3, verse 23. This is the first Torah reading, the first aliyah. I entreated the Lord at that time, saying, oh, okay, so we have to remember what we were talking about from last week, right? Remember that? So last week we were talking about Moses was giving a recap of the last 38 years, and then he was talking about like the things that had happened right up until he was about to die, which was the wars that happened in the Jordan slash Syria region, where the Hebrew nation acquired many, many, many cities and areas and locations, and two and a half tribes did not want to go into Eretz Israel, but then they promised that they would go, that they would be the first ones to fight ahead of the rest of the tribes, and basically that's kind of where we left off last week. But you can read it on your own. But this is when he says at that time, he means like literally when he was just previously speaking, which is now in the right up until we're about to get into Eretz Israel, or as it's known in the Torah as Eretz Canaan. And Moses, of course, is not going to see it, and because he made some mistakes. Okay, so I entreated the Lord at that time, saying, O Lord God, you have begun to show your servant your greatness and your strong hand. Who is like God in heaven or on earth? Who can do as your deeds and your might? Pretty good question. Who could do the things that God does, right? I mean, has anybody actually like looked outside and looked at nature? I mean, could anybody like actually replicate anything as good as what's in nature? We could try. I mean, we make efforts, but I mean, come on, a sunset, sunrise. Does anybody try to make the moon? Has anybody replicated the moon? Okay. And all the stars? Pray, let me cross over and see this. Ah, he wants to get into Israel. He really does. Pray, let me cross over and see the good land that is on the other side of the Jordan, the good mountain and the Lebanon. But the Lord was angry with me because of you. Oh, come on, Moses, you have to take a little bit of responsibility here. This is one of these weird times where Moses actually doesn't take responsibility. Okay, but the Lord was angry with me because of you, and he did not listen to me. And the Lord said to me, it is enough for you to speak to me no more. It is enough for you. Speak to me no more regarding this matter. But Moses didn't listen and he kept on trying anyways. Oh, only the Jews. Okay. Go up to the top of the hill and lift up your eyes westward and northward and southward and eastward and see with your eyes, for you shall not cross the Jordan. So God is going to kind of like give Moses this huge visit, this view of the whole Eretz Canaan, Israel, and then he's not going to let him come in. That's a little bit not nice, right? It's like, but Moses made mistakes, and there's consequences. But command Yeshua and strengthen him and encourage him, for he will cross over before this people, and he'll make them inherit the land which you will see. And we abided in the valley opposite of Beth Peor. Now this is interesting because Beth Peor, of course, Beit Peor, is of course a local deity at that time period, which was like a source of idol worship. So why would the Hebrew nation, why would the people who are like the monotheists of the world, why would they encamp literally across from like this idol? Because it shows you that really, a religious person can live anywhere. I mean, you could live in like the worst area. I mean, you shouldn't want to do that, but like if you're truly like actually really believe in the things you believe in, it really shouldn't matter where you live. Although the Talmud does give us in the Mishnah and Pirkei Avos says you should exile yourself to a place of Torah, and you shouldn't really test yourself on this one because the truth is we're really not as religious as we think we are. And now, Israel, hearken to the statutes and to the judgments which I teach you to do, in order that you may live and go and possess the land which your Lord your God of your fathers is giving you. So the primary reason for doing mitzvot, even the Hokim and the Mishpatim, It's not because of civil society and keeping like order, like thou not shalt steal. Everybody says, well, of course they have to have thou shalt not steal because of we can't have anarchy. The real reason we do the mitzvot is so we can live. We're not supposed to do them to die. We're not supposed to do mitzvot that are going to put us in harm's way or hurt us or God forbid kill us. We are absolutely supposed to be a religion of living the religion and not dying for our religion. Do not add to the word which I command you, nor diminish from it, and to observe the commandments of the Lord your God from which I command you. Okay, so don't add anything. But later we see that the rabbis really do that. They add siagim, they add fences, like barriers to prevent you from doing the actual sin. And that's, of course, permitted within the Torah. Some, the rabbis have a great justification for this. And, what can I say about that? Okay. Your eyes have seen what the Lord did at Baal Peor. For every man who went after Baal Peor, the Lord has exterminated from your midst. So everybody who went after that idol died. But you who cleave to the Lord your God are alive, all of you this day. And that ends the first aliyah.